Sarah had not been on a date in 3 years, ever since her ex-husband walked out the front door with a half-packed suitcase and a string of excuses. She had poured every ounce of herself into raising her 5-year-old daughter. Lily, dating felt like a luxury she simply could not afford, not emotionally, not practically, and certainly not when Lily had nightmares every other evening and needed her mother close. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments where in the world are you watching from. So when her co-worker Jennifer practically begged her to meet a man named Daniel, a widower with a 7-year-old son named Marcus, Sarah laughed it off for 2 solid weeks before finally saying yes. She agreed to meet him at a small Italian restaurant on a Saturday afternoon. Somewhere casual, somewhere easy to escape from if things went wrong. But then Friday night arrived, and Lily's babysitter called with a fever and an apology, and Sarah's carefully made plans collapsed like a house of cards. She stared at her phone for a long moment, typed out a cancellation message to Daniel, then deleted it. Something stopped her. Maybe it was loneliness. Maybe it was Jennifer's voice in her head saying, "Sarah, you deserve one afternoon." Whatever it was, she made a decision that surprised even herself. She would bring Lily along and simply explain when she arrived. She dressed Lily in a little yellow sundress, braided her hair with a pink ribbon, and told her they were going to have a fancy lunch together. Lily clapped her small hands and asked if she could order spaghetti, and Sarah laughed for the first time in what felt like weeks. When they walked into the restaurant, Sarah spotted Daniel immediately, tall, dark-haired, a little nervous-looking, wearing a blue shirt that was slightly too formal for a Saturday. He saw her walking toward him, and then he saw Lily, and Sarah braced herself. She had rehearsed the apology in the car. She was fully prepared for the awkward smile, the stiff body language, the polite but unmistakable disappointment that this was not at all what he had signed up for. Instead, Daniel did something she did not expect. He crouched down to Lily's level, looked her right in the eyes and said, "Hi there. I'm Daniel. I really like your ribbon. Pink is a great color." Lily stared at him for exactly 2 seconds, then whispered to her mother, "He seems nice, Mommy." Sarah felt something shift quietly in her chest. They sat down, and within minutes Lily was chattering away at Daniel as if she had known him her whole life, telling him about her stuffed elephant named Peanut, her favorite cartoon, and the fact that spaghetti was scientifically the best food in the world. Daniel listened to every word as though it was the most interesting conversation he had ever had. He did not check his phone. He did not give Lily that glazed, tolerant look that adults often give children when they are pretending to care. He was genuinely completely present. He told Lily that his son Marcus also believed spaghetti was the best food, and that maybe they had both done important research on the subject. Lily giggled so hard she nearly knocked over her water glass. Sarah watched all of this with wide eyes and a full heart, barely trusting what she was seeing. Over the course of that lunch, she and Daniel talked too, about loss, about starting over, about how strange it felt to want something good after so much hurt. He told her about his wife Emma, who had passed away from cancer 18 months ago, and how Marcus still slept with her old cardigan folded under his pillow. Sarah told him about the night her ex left, how Lily had stood in the hallway in her pajamas asking where Daddy was going, and how that image still lived behind her eyes. Neither of them pretended it was easy. Neither of them pretended to have all the answers. When the check came, Daniel quietly paid it before Sarah could even reach for her purse. And when Lily asked if Daniel would come to her birthday party, he looked at Sarah with a soft smile and said, "Only if your mom says it's okay." Sarah said yes. That was 8 months ago. Daniel and Sarah are not rushing anything. They are too careful. Once broken people learning slowly how to trust again. But every Sunday now, Marcus and Lily chase each other around the park while Sarah and Daniel sit on a bench with coffee, talking about nothing and everything. It is not a perfect story. It is better than that. It is a real one. If this story warmed your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel Kindness True Stories, where we bring you real moments of love, courage, and human connection every week.